I was born on March 16th, 1988. Now some of you might be thinking, hoop-de-damn doo-doo, why should I care about that?
That meant that I grew up in the kick-ass 90s, and that's when anime started becoming big in America. I felt when you watched anime, you watched one of these three shows. You either watched this,
Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, never running from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
or this,
It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend. In a world we must defend.
or, yeah, you know it, you watched this.
That's right, Dragon Ball fucking Z. This show was awesome! You got that sweet Rock the Dragon intro.
You got your action. You got your screaming. And you got your pink shirts.
Haven't you ever seen a pink shirt before? If you like it that much, you can have it.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I know. There are other goodies out there, such as Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho, and...
We'll get to that one later. But Dragon Ball Z is what I grew up with during my childhood, and it holds a special place in my heart.
Sailor Moon, I had no idea what the hell that show was about. It's about a high school girl who's some reincarnation of some moon princess or something like that, and her mom is the queen, and they both look alike, so you get them confused, and for some reason the high school girl at times is sleeping in some crystal rocks or something. I don't know, and I really didn't care.
I wasn't really interested in the Pokemon shows. I was more interested in the video games like Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Stadium.
Dragon Ball Z aired in the US on September 13th, 1996. The story is about the Saiyan alien named Kakarot,
My name is Goku.
Shut the fuck up, Goku. Gah.
who, with the help of his friends and the 7 Mystic Dragon Balls, must defend the Earth against various villains who appear and pose a threat to the universe. DBZ was an instant success and made a huge impact in Japan and the US. Even today, it still stands strong as a never-dying anime with new content still being made. Seriously, what's with all this pink stuff? One of the merchandises that followed the DBZ craze was a trading card game. You remember those cards you got in your Burger King meals? That's where it all started. In the month of April 2000, the Dragon Ball Z Collectible Card game hit the stores. Speaking of Burger King, do you guys remember Cine Minis? They were delicious. I ordered them every day. And then they discontinued them, and then my soul died.
All right, behave, you ingrates! Hey, you right there! That's enough! Get back in line right now!
Goddamn assholes! In order to do battle against your foes, you need a couple things. First thing is to pick a main personality to dish out the ass kicking. You need a minimum of 3 levels in order to play, but you can have up to 5 levels if you wish. Each personality is unique and has certain card powers you can use during combat. So when constructing a deck, make sure your power flows with the theme of your deck. Except for Chaozu. His level 2 power just instantly kills himself, thus causing you to lose the game. Fucking genius. He's worthless. You also have your power-up rating number that helps you regain lost power stages. Every personality card has what are called power stages. These are used to determine how much damage you've taken from an attack. Now that you got your personality picked, it's time to construct a life deck. A life deck contains different types of cards you use in order to win. Physical combat cards are used to deal power stages of damage to a personality or to stop physical attacks when on the defense. Damage taken from physical combat cards can decrease your power stages all the way down to 0. From there, they convert into life cards of damage. You also may have to use the physical attack table chart in order to determine how much additional damage an attack deals. The same can also be said with energy combat cards, except energy combat cards focus on damage dealing direct life cards rather than power stages. When using energy cards, you must pay the costs using power stages. Combat cards are neither physical nor energy cards. Some combat cards could stop any attack, or some cards would produce a certain effect. Some notable staple cards were Time is a Warrior's Tool and Trunks Energy Sphere. Non-combat cards stay out on the table until they are used. A drill, for example, is constantly in use and can create multiple effects within a turn or can be activated when needed. Some drills, for example, are Black Smoothness Drill. Look at old Krillin there wearing that that sweet-ass pimp suit, or blue diving punch drill. Wait a minute. This card is fucking stupid! A battleground or location acts like a drill, but affects everyone. Dragon Balls act like non-combat cards as well, but you use their powers as soon as you play them, unless otherwise stated. Oh, and by the way, you can't mix different Dragon Balls together. Allies are personality cards that help you during combat. You can redirect power stages of damage to your allies, but also can use their powers to fight for you. You can only use allies when your MP is one stage above, or at 0. Mastery cards can only be used when you declare a Tokiwaza. You must have at least one martial arts styled card that matches your mastery in order to declare a Tokiwaza. The style cards you can have are red, blue, orange, black, Saiyan, and Namekian. Saiyan and Namekian styles are limited to those personality races except Cell, because he's fucking badass.
My perfect form, the perfect body, the perfect power, the fulfillment of my purpose. Truly marvelous.
You can declare a freestyle Tokiwaza if you have no martial arts styled cards or you use named cards. A Sensei card allows you to have a Sensei deck. The limit is shown on the Sensei card and even has a power you can use. A Sensei deck allows you to swap out cards, if you desire, that can benefit you against certain decks. At first, the only cards you could use to swap were Sensei deck or Sensei deck only cards, but fuck that noise, you can use whatever card you want. There are limits to how many copies of a card you can have in a deck. Mastery, main personalities, Sensei, and Dragon Balls are limit 1. Unless restricted or specified, all other cards are limit 3 per deck. If it's a named card that matches your main personality, limit 4. Also know that each card has a rarity indicated by the Dragon Ball in the corner. So how do you actually win the game? Well, there are 3 ways to win. Survival victory, where you deplete the opponent's life deck and he can't draw anymore. Dragon Ball victory, where if you can control all 7 Dragon Balls, you win. Or by the most powerful personality victory that involves anger. Certain cards give you anger. You keep track of your anger with the anger sword. Must be the sword Piccolo made with his clothes beam attack. If you reach the highest level out of all the personalities in the game, you win. Technically, there is a 4th way to win using 2 specific cards, Dragon's Victory and Cosmic Backlash. You might be thinking, okay, so how do I actually play the game? Simple. To become a DBZ CCG master, simply play the Dragon Ball Z CCG for Game Boy Advance. I'm just kidding ya. That game can suck my Dragon Balls. It's terrible. Just as bad as Dragon Ball Evolution.
But in any case, here's a quick summary on how to play the card game.
Keep in mind, this summary is based off the Dragon Ball Z rules and not the Dragon Ball GT rules. Start with your main personality stacked with the lowest level on the top and the highest level on the bottom and your Sensei deck out on the battlefield. Next, you declare a Tokiwaza and play your mastery if your deck is made so. Using your scouter, set your main personality 5 power stages above 0. The next thing you do is check the double power rule, which is a stupid dumbass rule, so you can choose to follow it or not. If you choose to use the double power rule, the person whose power rating is double or higher than the other starts at 2 above 0, and the other at their highest power rating. The next thing you do is shuffle your deck and offer a cut. Alignment used to play a part as to who went first, but for now, flip a coin. I believe Heroes always went first. Don't know, don't care. Next, if you desire, swap cards from your Sensei deck with the amount from the top of your library. Don't look, only Picky Sensei allows you to choose which cards to swap. The person who won the coin flip gets to go first. The beginning of this is called the draw step, and you draw 3 cards. Next is the non-combat step, where you place any non-combats, locations, battlegrounds, Dragon Balls, and drills into play. You can also play allies as well. Set those allies' power stages 3 above 0. Next is the power-up step. Move your scouter up the number of stages equal to your power-up rating. If you declare a Tokiwaza, you'll hear that phrase a lot, you get a +1 to your PUR. If you have allies, they only power up 1 stage. You cannot exceed your highest power rating. Next is the declare step. You either choose the combat step or the rejuvenation step.
Alright, I'm going to show you the combat step in detail right now, and this is just one out of many scenarios that can happen.
Majin Buu's whale.
Okay. Gohan's sword thrust.
Majin Buu's invincibility. Android 18 stare down, bitch. Oh gee, what am I gonna pick?
How about, Trunks Sword Position 3?
I pass. If you can get your hands on a current rule book, or just go online, make sure to read all the rules so you can get a full understanding of how everything works. Dragon Ball Z CCG had many expansions during its run. It started with the Saiyan Saga, which is known for its god-awful wording, like, "They've been hiding their true level for just this attack," or, "This battle never happened," and rules that made no fucking sense. It sucked ass, but it was where it all started. Then the Frieza Saga came along, some rules were changed but it still sucked ass. Then the Trunks Saga came along and told the two past expansions to go fuck themselves, and fixed a lot of problems.
Is that so? Well, we'll just see about that.
This was also the introduction of Masteries. Players still considered Trunks Saga the best of the best. Good luck trying to get the Trunks Saga cards, they're fucking expensive. Next came the Android Saga, Cell Saga, and Cell Game Saga. The Android Saga was considered the best produced by score, while the Cell Saga was the first to introduce level 5 personality cards, and the Cell Game Saga which introduced endurance. Then there was the World Game Saga, which was just shitty and considered the worst set. Then there was the Babidi Saga, which was just plain shit. Then there was the Boo Saga, which introduced gatefold personalities. Then there was the Fusion set, which introduced fusion personalities using cards like Batara earrings and the Fusion Dance. And then finally Kid Buu Saga, which was the most play-tested set. But unfortunately, Kid Buu never got its fair share of publicity as the DBZ show was ending and the card game was transitioning over into the Dragon Ball GT TCG. Score tried to keep the card game alive with other sagas from GT and making a new Dragon Ball Z trading card game, but come June 2006, the game was discontinued. Websites like DBZ OCG and Retro DBZ CCG are websites that keep the game alive and thriving as much as it can. Now being a collector of just trying to collect every card, I check out those sites every now and then. I sometimes find myself praying and wondering, Lord, will this poor soul ever see again that game within thy lifespan? Well, Goku and the gang must have gathered all 7 Dragon Balls, and Shenron must have heard my wish. DBZ is fucking back. On July 24th, 2014, on the Retro DBZ CCG website, it was announced at the Panini American booth at Comic-Con International, the DBZ CCG we know and love is fucking coming back. Thanks to all you diehard fans, Retro DBZ CCG, DBZ OCG, and everyone else, DBZ has been wished back to life by the Eternal Dragon. Get your ass over to retrodbzccg.com.fatcow.com to stay up to date and check out all the new cards that are slowly being released and tested. I cannot wait to see what is new and to finally relive those days. Fuck Dragon Ball Evolution.